and surveying some land, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Greg, we call that the public fool system, not the school system. Public fool system. Get
Fool
it?
System, yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I totally agree.
Where's the drums? Okay.
It makes you wonder why they never teach you about the roots of the Federal Reserve System and how it was created through corruption, or do they teach you? They never teach you about how Prescott Bush, George Bush's grandfather, funded both sides of World War II. Certain things that they will not teach you in school. So you follow this patriotic agenda. And it makes me wonder too about why do we even have a Pledge of Allegiance? Think about it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Why are we pledging our allegiance to America? Why aren't we pledging our allegiance to this planet and making this planet the best place?
That's getting back to the separation.
Yes.
That's what religion does. That's what national pride does. My country's better than your country.
Divide and conquer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, okay. So what's cool about that is that we can still talk about it, and we can still say, hey, there is another choice. Okay.
There is.
And
yeah.
So like I say, you got to kind of see what you don't want so you can choose what you do.
That's the beauty of today, yeah.
So, and that brings us right back to the beginning of the night when we said, hey, these are exciting times. The greatest time to be alive is right now.
Definitely.
So we're all coming together. We're all holding hands. We're all opening up people's eyes and showing people that, hey, you have that power. You just forgot you had it and were dumbed down so you would hopefully not remember it all.
A lot of people right now, they're feeling that urgency, and they don't know why they're feeling that urgency, that sense of urgency. Is it because you need to enlighten people, you need to awaken people? Is it you feel you need to go home even though you're at your, per se, home right now? There's this feeling that's going on that you just can't put into words. It exists. It's happening. You can't quantify it, but it's happening. It really is. And a lot of people are feeling that way.
So let's get back to the law of attraction in that sense.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
People are kind of feeling that.
Yes.
Even if they're not consciously sending out the intention, subconsciously they may, and who knows? A book may fall off a shelf, and they will pick it up to read and kind of expand their awareness about things, or they may listen to a show like this, or who knows? Because even subconsciously they're sending out a signal that I want to understand. And
it's like the people that were ridiculing Blossom Goodchild, about the UFO thing, and maybe in her world, in her beliefs, in her utmost beliefs, she thought that we were going to have a contact that day, and she came out and she had the guts to say something like that, and it didn't materialize. But perhaps that was a test for us. But regardless of whether it was or wasn't, she still had the gumption to go out there and say something like that, and I give her a lot of credit for doing so.
Do you have any thoughts about our off-planet beings?
Yeah, plenty of them. As a matter of fact, Tom, that's one of the next videos I'm in the process of making. It's called "We Have Confirmed Help from Above." Have you seen the UFO Disclosure Project video?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, and for those who haven't that are listening right now, this video mentions it has all these military and airline personnel who come out and speak out on UFOs. And a lot of these military personnel were saying how they were ordered to shoot nuclear warheads at these UFOs, but every time the UFOs disabled the nuclear warheads, so it just blows your mind when you have these officials coming out and saying stuff like that. So obviously, I have a feeling, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners do too, that there are probably thousands of UFOs over our planet that are cloaked, invisible, are operating at a higher dimension.
Yeah.
We just can't see them right now. But
I
have a feeling they're all over the place, and just kind of helping us out, making sure that there will not be a pole shift or any kind of cataclysmic activity before the shift occurs, and that we do have this galactic help out there. So I'm compiling all this information, and I'll be making it into a video and putting it on my YouTube channel. My YouTube name is 2012 Are You Prepared? So if any listeners want to add me as their friend or subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll get you that video ASAP as soon as I get it done.
Okay, that sounds cool. And you remind me of something my research brought me to.
Mm-hmm.
The Mayan. There's a planet in the Pleiades system called Maya, and I really kind of am leaning to the belief, okay, that the Mayans were Pleiadians, off-planet visitors that kind of put this calendar in place as part of the awakening.
Yeah, I think there is a connection there. I really do. I have a little bit on my website about the Maya and the Pleiades connection on there. And, the Mayans obviously put a great significance into the astrology and cosmology and all that stuff. They knew something much more than what we knew about the solar system. I mean, they knew about planets that we didn't discover until the early 1900s.
Right.
So there's something going on with that connection. I don't have that information in front of me, and I can't recall it specifically right now.
Yeah.
But it has something to do with
kind of like our cousins.
Yeah, yeah. But so, I know that it had something to do with the tracking of the calendar round, the 52-year cycle of the calendar round, and what was called a New Fire ceremony. But I can't recall that information right off the top of my head. But there is a connection between the Mayans and the Pleiades. You're right.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, exciting show, Greg.
I could talk for hours.
Let's see. What else we got here?
Whatever you want, my friend.
Stages of grief versus stages of spirituality. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. As a child and family therapist, I look at things from a medical perspective. I just did an article, as a matter of fact, on how ADD has some kind of correlation to what's going on right now in our society. And we could talk about that a little later if we have the time. But the stages of grief versus stages of spirituality, there's the 5 stages of grief, which are denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And a lot of people, when they first hear about the Mayan calendar, they'll go through that denial and isolation point of, oh, no, this can't be happening. No, not now. What am I going to do? I went through that, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners probably went through that too. And then we go through the anger process where we become upset at that point, where we only have, X amount of years to live, and, we're angry at the world or mainstream media for allowing us to be unaware of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And then we move into the bargaining stage, and in that stage, people might say, I never did this part, but they might ask their spiritual entity or deity, if I do this, will you, keep me safe? That kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And then the next stage is the one that varies different. The next stage is actually depression in the stages of grief, but if you're going through the spiritual process, that stage would be the enlightenment stage, where you start finally becoming comfortable with what's going on. And you understand everything that's going on, that you need the dark forces right now to enlighten the people, and that they're actually doing us a favor by doing what they're doing. Every time the elite do something that, irritates anyone, they're actually empowering people to start their own spirituality search.
Yeah, love it.
I thank them. And
Give them a big